Hi, I'm Caroline DeGrave, and I'm an actress outside of LA, and you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. I support him completely for showing motivation to people with disabilities and any kind of social anxieties or any other mental illnesses, which is, I think, fabulous of Keith to do for an audience and to show his fellows that maybe struggle with the same issues. So I think he's a great inspiration, and I really appreciate his work.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. It's episode 630. That's right. It's 630 of the Keith Andrew Network, and it's a special Halloween edition. Now, with that being said, the whole point of my talk show is showing people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities, and never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And to prove to them you can still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. So that being said, half hour, 44 minutes of your time. You can say anything you want, talk about anything you want. And the first question I was going to try to change up the show a little bit. For anyone who wants to know who Caroline DeGrave is, you are a professional upcoming actress.
Yes, I
But
am.
I'm going to ask you some easy questions. I'm going to ask you some hard hitting ones. And the first one,
Okay.
much also off with the easy ones, is how was life growing up? And when you were in high school and college, when you were in college, were you a study nerd or party animal?
Well, I went to college later in life, so I was a study nerd. I didn't go back to college until I was 37, so it was a while.
What about in high school? Did you do any sports growing up?
I was in gymnastics a little bit, mostly through junior high, and then I quit my sophomore year.
How come?
Well, I quit because I had a little bit of a resentment against my coach. He said I was getting too tall for gymnastics and that I would never compete. Because gymnasts are notoriously petite and usually they're short and, that kind of thing. And believe it or not, I was one of the shortest kids in class up until about seventh grade. And then I had a growth spurt, and by the time I hit my sophomore year, I was about 5'6" or so, and now I'm 5'8". And so, anyways, when I started to get a little bit tall, he told my mom that I would never compete because I was getting too tall, and so that put a burr under my saddle, and I said, "Screw it, I'm not going to do it anymore," and I went into other pursuits.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you, it's the last easy question, but I do want to say on this subject, is did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or you're not into the whole human pyramid stuff?
No.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
No, you're not a loser. It just, yeah, people have different interests.
It's true. Well, would you ever be up for doing one, or that's not your forte?
No, I was not really into the floor gymnastics. I wasn't into the I was really good at the uneven bars and the beam.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's different types. I mean, the floor tumbling I was not really a fan of. I liked the beam and I liked the uneven bars, and then that was really what I stuck to.
All right. Well, would you ever do one of those pyramids for fun, or it's just not anything you're interested in?
Well, for fun, I mean, sure, if you wanted to actually try to do that, but I mean, it takes a lot of strength to do that, and takes practice and exercise, and it's not like you can just wake up one day and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this today." Like, no,
I mean, you could, but
no, it wouldn't work out very well. It's like one of those things you try in college and make a fool of yourself doing, and then you never try it again, and hopefully you don't break anything.
it's true. Hey, don't knock it till you try it, right?
In some cases.
Now,
I
the
don't know. I don't have to burn myself in a frying pan to know not to do it.
I agree with you on that. Now, the next question I was going to ask you while being on the subject of gymnastics is, did you ever want to be a professional gymnast and be, if that guy never, I mean, look at it like this. Okay, the first question is, did you ever want to be a professional gymnast? And the second one is, even if the guy said you were never going to amount to anything, you could have easily used it as motivation, saying, I'm going to prove you wrong.
No, that's very true. But I was not. I was not super motivated to become competitive. So it wasn't like a lifelong dream. I liked it. I enjoyed it, and being who I was, and my life was social and friends and whatnot. I just took the excuse to say I'm not going to do it anymore.
Do you have many regrets?
No, no, it was never. I loved it, but it was not. It was not something that I saw myself doing professionally.
All right. Now, the next question I was going to ask you, we mentioned to me off the air, but for our listeners, as I mentioned, you are a professional actress. So the first
hmm
question I was going to ask you is, who influenced you to become an actress, and how many years have you been acting?
I've been acting 3 years, and what inspired me to start? Well, actually, I got my first role acting standing in line at Starbucks. Um, that was for a Western film, and I ended up getting one of the lead roles. And even though the film never went anywhere, it kind of opened up my world a little bit and gave me, I guess, it gave me some motivation to do it because I felt like it was something I could do, and it came easily to me. And I'm a natural communicator. I'm a natural expressive person. Um, and I've never in my life been stage shy. It's just when I was a kid, I was the same way. I mean, I would do piano recitals and go to talent shows and whatnot, and I just I just never had that fear of people or public speaking or any of that. I just never had that. I don't know. I don't know if I was just naturally precocious or what it was, but I just never shared that.
No, absolutely. Now, have you ever thought about being a professional voiceover actor?
It would not be my first choice. I like it. I would do it. But I like my freedom of expression to be a little bit more encompassing than just voice acting. And honestly, I don't have a lot of range in terms of different accents and different types of voices I could do. I don't know if I could do animated. I don't know if I could do, certain accents that a project might require of me. So I am more I'm more apt to do something that I'm comfortable with on camera and give the full exposure of the character rather than try to put it all into just voice. That takes more skill than I have, and I haven't had training in that. And believe it or not, voice acting takes a lot of training and it takes a lot of practice. And you've got to really apply yourself. So
I agree, yeah, but it's also yes and no. But let's play a little fun game real fast. You said you never got training in it. I like to
no,
give you that little training, if I may.
sure.
So let's do the top three. The first one is Yogi Bear. You know,
hmm
for me, I've been doing Yogi Bear for. Okay, let me rephrase that saying because I haven't been doing, you know, doing Yogi Bear. I've been imitating, imitating the Yogi Bear. So for a couple of years since I was in high school. So it's kind of like Hey, boo boo, how you do? Hey. So when you hear that, well, I want to hear your impression. So it's pretty much monkey see, monkey do. Is you gotta
Okay.
copy me, and then I'm gonna train you how to do it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, so let's hear your best Yogi Bear impression.
Okay. Do yours again so I can kind of get a feel for it.
Hi, hey, boo boo, how you do? How do?
All right. So, hey, boo boo, how do you do? How do you do? What? What was the last part?
It's kind of like that, but you gotta make your voice a little deeper. So, hey, boo boo. So as you say, hey, as you're saying hey, you're going deeper, and you go
Hmm.
as you're saying boo boo, you're gonna raise your voice higher. So it's kind of like, hey,
So,
boo boo, check out this fun.
hey, boo boo. No. Hey, boo boo.
You're getting there. Hey, like you said, if you
Hey,
practice it,
boo boo. Hey, boo boo. Hey, boo boo. I don't know. It's also a male voice, so it's going to be harder for me.
that's true. But most of the characters are done by women. Bart Simpson, Ask
True.
Ketchum.
Can you
Um,
do a Bart Simpson? Can you do a Bart Simpson?
Not really. That's really hard for me. Let's see. What were some of my favorites? I did imitate Yogi Bear. I can imitate Ray Romano. It was okay. Let's do a little
Oh,
Ray Romano competition. Who does it better? Hey, come
oh,
on! I just went to the supermarket today. I bought these deodorants. This was for me. Why can't you go and buy it for yourself? Hey, come on!
that does not sound like Ray Romano at all. I don't think I can even remember of like anything he's ever done that sounded like that. Um, what show is that from?
Everyone was Raymond. And also, it's a
Really?
combination of Ray Romano, also number two from Adventure Brothers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you
Never heard
like
of it.
Snagglepuss?
Um, I remember that character. What does he sound like?
I trying to think. Eggs in it. No, it's shit. Now you put me on the spot. Heavens, no,
I'm really interviewing you. Did you not know that?
I can see it as like heavens, a sugar boy or exit Steve left even and it's kind of like that.
I'm not sure about that one.
Let's see.
I can do a little bit of Mickey Mouse a little bit.
All right.
I can. Hey, Pluto.
No, that sounds perfect. I used to work in Toys R Us, so I used to walk around with the Mickey Mouse. Yeah, I used to antagonize my boss. I go, "Woohoo, Gene, how you doing today? Woohoo, we're gonna make some sales. Woohoo!" So it isn't perfect, but it's
I think it
working.
was fun.
What about let's see? For my impressions, I do Ray Romano. You see Banana Man?
No.
Like Banana Man had this guy. It's like, well, Kazam, Kapow. He
Huh?
always talked like this.
I no. Like I said, I'm not good at
Yeah.
voices. I mean, you could try all you want, but it's not my forte. I could do my voice. I could make it a little bit more high pitched or low pitched, but I really can't imitate that well. I'm better at being original or being myself or giving it a little bit of more of a spin, but to really imitate something that's already existing,
Yeah.
that's not something that's easily done by anybody.
No, I agree with you on that. But do you think that with everything you accomplished in your acting career, do you think doing voiceovers for cartoons or video games would be your next step?
No.
What about audiobooks?
Mm, no.
All right, well, now let's go to another part of it. Let's say, what were some of your favorite moments when you began acting? I'll give you a perfect example. When you first started to act, when was it that light bulb went off and said, you know what? This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
The first time I was ever on set. It didn't take very long. It was not something that I even questioned. It was even before I was on set, tell you the truth. The idea of practicing, of looking over my script, of developing the character. I liked all of it. It was not just the acting part. It was not just the being on camera part. It was the whole process of filmmaking too, of seeing something come together, of the camera positioning, the scene positioning, the actor blocking. It was everything. And I guess there are some actors that just like only acting, but I'm not one of those. I really like the whole process of something coming together and making a product for audiences to enjoy. So, if when I'm on set, if there's something else I can do when I'm not acting, I'm usually doing that. Like if I'm helping with cameras or if I'm watching the monitor for continuity or something, or if I'm watching the other actors, I can practice with them. I can watch what they're doing. I can help with different things. Just it's not only about acting for me.
Okay, let me ask you this. What motivates you every single day to say, you know what? This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. What makes you do what you want to do?
Well, the motivation comes from the continued contact with people that want me to be part of their projects. Because I mean, there's only so much you can do yourself, but if no one shows interest in what you're doing or shows interest in being part of your career and or making you part of their projects, then there's a time that I probably would have said, okay, this is pointless. But because I continue to make contacts and I continue to progress and get different roles and that kind of thing, it does inspire people and it gives people hope. But there's a lot of sacrifice in doing what I do. Not a lot of independent projects pay a lot. There's a lot of traveling back and forth. There's a lot of things that I've done that didn't pay anything. It was, I think a lot of people think that actors make tons of money, but that's only like the 1%.
Right.
Most actors have two or three jobs.
No, I agree. And that's another thing I want to talk to you about. But being an actor, that doesn't guarantee you work. Look at Robert Downey Jr., look at Hugh Jackman, look at, just trying Samuel Jackson. Look at the woman who did the Black Widow. Look
Mhm.
at Bradley Cooper. They don't work every single day. If they did, everyone would be doing it. You have to audition for the role. You have like Robert Downey Jr. did the Judge. He had to audition for that. If he wasn't good in the part, he wouldn't have gave it to him, and he wouldn't have gotten paid. If
Right.
you're like a good commentator or a good radio host, then yes, you're set because you have something that you can do every day. Where
Hmm.
people said, "Oh, you want to?" I was actually thinking about being a SAG extra, and they're like, "Oh, you want to be in SAG extra, but you're gonna pay a couple thousand, but it doesn't guarantee you work." It's true, it doesn't. Being an actor doesn't guarantee you work. So paying that SAG extra card, like $1,000 a month, yeah, it's great that if you're getting a acting role, the thousand you can pay it back. But if you're
Right.
just paying the $1,000 just to say, "Hey, I have SAG extras card," all you're doing is pissing your money away because you're not being booked for anything.
Hmm.
And there's this
No.
guy who I talked to who said, "Oh, you're not a SAG extra. so we couldn't really use you on film anyway. So that's when I got into it, but then they're like, well, it's not guaranteed work. But like, I'll give you an example. Joe and Evan are very funny. They have their own radio show, and or Bill Maher for that matter, very funny, obnoxious but very funny, and he has a TV show, so it doesn't matter, TV show, radio show, whatever, with Bill Maher or Joe and Evan. They have a job. They have a set job of going on the air, interacting
Mm-hmm.
with the customers. Actually, if you look at it, people are customers. So they go interact with the customers, the audience. If they're not getting ratings, that dictates right there if they have a job or not. And so with acting, it doesn't matter if you did, I don't know, freaking Lord of the Rings or Titanic, and you got all these great Oscars and Emmys. It doesn't mean a damn thing because that's not going to say, well, you were great in Titanic, but you sucked in Wolf of Wall Street. You know, or you didn't fit the part in Wolf of Wall Street, but you were good in Titanic. You see, acting, it's not guaranteed work. So,
Well, you have one point, but when you're looking at actors that are making millions and millions and millions per picture, they don't have to work a lot.
yeah,
They often do one picture and don't work for another 2 or 3 years before they pick another one up. And also, somebody that has those kinds of credits and those kinds of followers, even if they didn't make multi-million dollars movies every 3 years, they would still get work. So it's not the same thing. You're talking about indie actors that have to hustle every day just to go make $100. That's a completely different thing. You're not, actors at the top are not the same thing as actors at the bottom. They can afford to not work for 3 years and not give a shit.
well, look at it like this. Because okay, let me ask you: do you consider yourself an A, B, C, or D lister? And let me explain what I mean by that. You know, a while ago, long story short, there was a wrestling promo about Daniel Bryan's versus Ian Fardy. And Ian Fardy was saying, you know, the higher up saying, you're not an A plus player, you're a B plus player. And I was thinking to myself, well, I sure as hell not an A plus player because people are not people are not falling over themselves just to see me. I'm not a B plus player because people don't know me. Not a C plus player because again, same thing. You know, you're not. Yeah, you're slowly becoming famous, but you're not getting that recommendation. So I consider myself a D plus player. A D plus player is D is for disability. Now I'm showing you look at what somebody with a disability can accomplish. So yes, I am a D plus player, but what you said in to go to your point, an A plus player, you're raking in billions of dollars, millions of dollars. You know, you Robert Downey Jr. and Hugh Jackman, they are A plus people. Now you're looking at someone who's me, who's a D plus player, you're on the bottom and you're gonna scratch and you gotta crawl your way to the top. Now, with your example, do you consider yourself a D plus player or a C plus player? And the differences between you and me, you've been in films, you've been out there, you pretty much been in the public's eye, so people know and starting to know who you are. And the difference
Mm-hmm.
for me is, yeah, I'm a talk show host online, and yes, slowly people are getting to know me, but the truth of the matter is, you can do laps around me, and you are putting yourself more out there. So I think you're more of a C plus player, close to a B plus. But does all those labels really make a difference to you? You know,
They do in terms of paycheck, yes. It makes a difference.
No, I agree. A plus. It doesn't phase you. A couple pennies here, a couple pennies there. D plus, you're not making any money. C plus, the C plus player. B plus, you're slowly getting into the limelight. Especially B plus, you're slowly getting into that limelight. People are saying, "We know who you are. You have great talent." I think you're a great C plus player because you're in the spotlight. You've been on films. You're a great professional actress. And for me, I'm still that D plus player because I don't think I have what it takes to be on your level. Now I know you want to be like an A plus player, have people pretty much, throw whatever they want at you. Oh, you're blah blah blah. Can I please have your autograph? Can you please sign this? That's an A plus. B plus is like, oh, I see you were in movie with Robert Downey Jr. That's really good. We want somebody like that. C plus people are pretty much like, so this is your profile. Pretty interesting. We will be in contact. That's more like a C plus. And D plus, it's kind of like, you have a nice book. And that's pretty much it. So you can see the different levels of being high up. And the long story what I'm trying to tell you is, you said there's no difference between, you can't compare high ups to low downs. But the truth of the matter is, everyone starts somewhere. Look at Robert Downey Jr. He was a D plus player and he almost committed suicide. But look at where he accomplished. He's a great star. Hugh Jackman, he was some guy from Australia. And look at him now. Look at you. You're a professional actress and you're making your ways up. So the point is, it doesn't matter what label you give yourself. If you give yourself the practice, give yourself the confidence, you can accomplish anything. And we
Yeah.
all start from the bottom.
Everybody starts at the bottom unless you have somebody who's already famous as your father or mother.
True.
There's a lot of nepotism in Hollywood. So, you have those that, have been acting since they were toddlers because their parents are so and so, you know. But as far as independent actors that have nobody in the business that's related to them and just crawl their way to the top, you do start at the bottom. And it's all about who you know. It's where you are, who you know, and what you do. It's a combination of all three. And, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes being able to take no a lot. It takes a lot of rejection. It takes tons of work that no one's willing to pay you for. But that's how you get footage. And that's how you're able to show others things that you've done. Because I've done a lot of stuff that I couldn't get footage for, or else I had to edit my own reel, and I had to get and do stuff that, wasn't paid a lot of times, and I had to travel 2 or 3 or 4 hours out of the way to get somewhere. A lot of stuff that people are not willing to do. And that's the difference between somebody who has footage to show that shows they are progressing. Because if you're not willing to do any of that, then no one is going to help you.
No, absolutely. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And with the last 5 minutes left, I will pass it over to you. And my last subject I do want to talk to you about, we can save that for our Q&A. But let's take that break, and when we come back, I'll pass the show right over to you.
Okay.
I'm Linda Collins.
Hi, I'm Marissa Joy Davis.
This is Michelle Wong.
And I'm Nancy Rose.
My name is Brandy Hunt. And
hello, my name is Raven Wynn.
Hi there, my name is Giovanna Vidal.
Hi, I'm Monica Thomas.
Hi, I'm Paisley Blackburn.
I'm Ashley Burgess.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Abney.
Hi, I'm Sharon Spank.
Hey, this is Samantha Moore.
Hi, I'm Melody Jones.
Hi, my name is Becky Yee.
Hi, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network. It is 600 and I forgot what number it was. Was it 630, I said?
I actually don't remember the number you said.
It doesn't make a difference. Welcome back to the Keith Andrew Network. I'm your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is talented and beautiful Caroline DeGrave. What's the last 5 minutes and counting? I'm going to pass the show over to you. So this is your time. You can say anything you want, talk about whatever you want. This is your time.
Oh, well, thank you, Keith. So I would like to talk a little bit about some upcoming projects. I've signed on with Ascendant Studios management and talent agency. So I'll be on their projects. The one I've been cast in that is going to be starting fairly soon is Vice Squad, and that's in several different cities. But I'm on the Vice Squad LA team, and I play Detective Adelaide Wells. And so that's really great. You can follow the page of Vice Squad on Facebook. And then also they have several other projects that they're going to be promoting in the future. I'm not allowed to tell you about any of those, but they will be on the Ascendant Studios page when things start happening. Other than that, I have produced 3 films to date. My first film that I produced was one that I made myself, and I shot on my Samsung S7, I believe it was. Did that 3 years ago, and it's on YouTube. It's called Real Smile, and it's about 14 minutes long. And so I shot that myself. I edited it using Final Cut Pro, and I got a special mention award at the One Reeler Film Competition in LA that summer. So that kind of helped me kind of kickstart into other things. And I did a few other films, and then I ended up producing this year 2 films. I am a producer on The Butcher, which is a movie by Michael Mustazos, also called Moose. And he is premiering the movie at Shockfest in Las Vegas, November 22nd through the 24th. You can look at The Butcher Facebook page online. I have a small part in the opening scene, and I'm also a producer in that. And then I have a small scene and also help produce a movie that is made out of Uganda, and that is called Serie, Sarai, Sarai. And the filmmaker is Director Centuries, and so he is out of Kampala, Uganda. Kampala is the capital. And so me and my friend Clinton Wallace both helped produce that, and we shot a little scene out in LA to put into the movie. So it fit into the storyline really well. So the trailer is available on my own page, Caroline DeGrave Actress. It's a Facebook page. And what else am I doing?
Don't mind me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The web series Mark's Place. So we filmed just a couple days ago to finish up the pilot. I think we have one more day of filming at the end of the month, and the pilot should be complete fairly soon. So and we're filming, I think, 3 episodes, and we'll be pitching it to several streaming platforms to get it out there. So that one's looking good as well. In that one, I'm just an actress, and my character is a lesbian bartender named Della Crush. And so I have some pretty fun stuff coming up. And then I have another film that I'm going to be in, which I will not find any details about until end of November. So that one's looking really exciting too.
No, absolutely. Don't mind me. I just want to have a little fun, so I was drinking it, and I was thinking, all those times I was drinking water, it never dawned on me, saying, why don't I just ask for a sponsorship? So that's why I held it up. It's like, oh, smart water. So I just thought, it's stupid, but I thought it would be funny. But with that being said, I know you have an important call you have to do. And so
I'm going to go and talk to my agent and get some forms over to him about some stuff. So we're talking about the progress of Vice Squad. So that's looking really good. So other than that, I'm excited for a lot of the things coming up. I don't talk about stuff on Facebook all the time because some things you just can't talk about until it's ready to go. So, I'm just kind of laying low right now and telling you about the things that I can talk about. But things are looking really exciting.
No, absolutely, and we will definitely do that Q&A at some point for our fans out there. Now, wrapping up, I do have a couple questions for you off the air before you go. The first one I'm going to ask is, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on Twitter, Instagram, Stage 32? How can people follow you?
Okay, so my Facebook page is Caroline DeGrave, actress. So Caroline, and DeGrave is DeGrave, actress. On Instagram, same thing, but use the @ symbol, Caroline.DeGrave. I am on Twitter, but I don't really use it, so I wouldn't really recommend people follow me on there. And then I'm also on LinkedIn, and that's just my name, Caroline DeGrave. You can find me by looking on that. And I have a small production company called Firefly Productions, so I believe that's my profile picture on there. So those are the three that mainly I'm on, and you can find me there.
No, absolutely. And my last question for you, wrapping up our interview segment. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, when you first got the email, what was your first reaction? What made you say yes? And how do you feel now, and would you recommend it to other people?
Of course. What I thought was, oh, that's great. How did he find me, or where did he know of me? Because I didn't know of you, so I didn't know if you had seen something or what. Because you never really know how people find out about you. It's it's not something that's readily available unless someone tells you. So I was excited and I was happy. I hadn't had an interview in a little while, so I thought to myself, oh, this could be fun. And I also like the fact that you wanted to promote motivation to people with disabilities, because that's something that's really important. Mental illness and disabilities are very prevalent in this country, as well as around the world. And everybody has disabilities of sorts. Not everyone has obvious ones. We all have personality defects, and we all have little things that we struggle with. Everybody has their own path to fight through. So, just because you have disability or a handicap or something, doesn't mean you're unable to do anything in life. It doesn't mean that at all. And if you have a passion for something, or if you have an interest to pursue something, then find a way to do it. Same thing with acting. It's a struggle. It's very, very hard to crawl yourself to the top. And every day it is something that I have to fight through. And there are days I feel down, and there are days that I feel like, why am I doing this? And then, you get some sort of, affirmation from the fans, or somebody who hears of you, or a tag, or a new follow, or whatever. It could be anything, but just that little bit helps you go another day.
No, absolutely. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
That sounds good. Thank you.